Hey everybody, John here with a message from sunny Blackwood, New Jersey. As we kick off May, I have some thoughts around Front Row Foundation and why we do what we do. I'm often asked, how did I start the charity or why did I start it? And I say it was three big moments of my life. One was being at a Tony Robbins conference, and if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan. Tony asked everybody in the room, if you were to rate your contribution on a 1 to 10 scale, where would it be? And I didn't like my answer. The second was that, my buddy Jamie Bogger challenged me to do an ultra marathon, 53 miles. And so as we were training for this, we decided to raise money for a charity because it kind of felt like the right thing to do. But the conversation quickly turned to, if we were to start a charity, what would it be? And on that run, by the way, Front Row Foundation was born. But where the idea of the Front Row actually came from was a few weeks earlier, prior to that run, I was at a Jason Mraz concert, and I was in the very back row, and I looked down to the front, and I saw there was a totally different energy in the front. And it struck me that, that I wanted to live my life in the front row, and I hadn't always done that. But I wanted to live with courage. I wanted to have the courage to, as we often say, stand up, step up, and speak up. I wanted to be able to have fun and not worry about what everybody was thinking about me, to really live a courageous, authentic life, to be myself fully, but to participate. And I often think about being in the front row is all about putting yourself in proximity of things and people and experiences and moments that inspire you. Do you do that in your life? And I haven't always done that in my life, but I wanted to help others to do that. So I do that through the charity work at Front Row Foundation. I do it through my speaking business with Front Row on Campus and Front Row Global. I've done it through private and group coaching. We're doing it by training other people to be professional speakers at a boot camp we're having. We have so many ways that we're trying to bring the Front Row message to the world. The Front Row Club idea that's going to be hitting college campuses this fall. So many cool things. But what I'm often asked is, well, John, how do you focus your time and attention on this whole idea of, being in the front rows with the charity, putting people in the front row and speaking to people about being in the front row? And, there could be something more valuable to do with your time. Like, there's people that don't even have clean water around the world. Why aren't you digging wells for people? And I think, when you get into the business of trying to compare good deeds, it's a hard conversation to have, because if you ask me, if, helping somebody get front row seats to their favorite event or saving someone's life because they don't have clean water, I've got to go with the clean water every time. But I think if you think big picture, you think about that our job as a human being is to find out what our calling is and to go do that. In other words, if every human being on the planet stopped what they were doing to just dig a well, then the whole system would stop functioning. In other words, we need our doctors, we need our teachers, we need our moms and our dads to raise children and focus on their work. We need people to do what they were born and called to do. And yes, some people were born to dig those wells and find out how to cure or solve that problem. And my mission, and what I've discovered about my life, is my job is to help people to engage fully, to live their lives to the max, so that if their job was to go build a well, that they do that. If their job is to be an educator, that they go do that with passion. If their job was to become a politician or a whatever it might be, right? You just pick any job. My role is to help people to live courageously, be authentically themselves, and do their work with passion. There's two ways I view that we can do life. We're either a spectator, kind of watching it go by, playing it safe, biting our tongue all the time, or we're going to live courageously up front, fully engaged, and that's what we mean by living life in the front row. So I think that our mission, in the charity, it's not just to create, this dream experience, this one-day moment, but that moment, we want to be a platform for how somebody could live the rest of their life. No matter how many days we have in this world, it's how we live each of those days. And, we're all dealt different hands, and, some seem to be more fortunate than others. But I think that, no matter what seat you've been given in life, that you can always choose to have a front row experience. I meet people all the time that have some of the toughest situations. Man, they are living full lives. And I've used some others that have all the comforts of the world, and they're searching for meaning. And, I think that this really comes down to finding out what lights you up. So Howard Thurman said, don't ask what the world needs of you, ask what makes you come alive, and go do that, because what the world needs is for you to come alive. My challenge to you today is to ask yourself, what makes you come alive? Go do that thing, because that's what we need from you, whatever it might be. Hey, maybe it's participating in Front Row Foundation. Maybe it's, doing your work that you're doing now, but doing it with more passion and more courageousness. Maybe it's quitting your job, doing the thing that you were born to do. Maybe it's just making some radical life change or transformation that, that the world needs for you to make that right now. There's no time to waste. So that's my message for May. I hope that you live it fully. I hope that you, as we've been saying a lot in the charity lately, is be present with people on purpose for the planet. Be present with people on purpose for the planet. We're all in this thing together. It's one giant ecosystem. We all play a role. And, when I say be present, I mean, we're always asking what's next, right? What's next? What's next? But what about what's now? What's right now in your world? And there's a balance. There's nothing wrong with envisioning the future and what you're trying to create. But hey, we don't want to spend all of our time in a place that doesn't exist. But right now is what we've got. So do something great and appreciate what's around you. Appreciate the people and the experiences and the opportunities and the resources that are at your fingertips. We live in an awesome time right now. So much opportunity. And so take advantage of that. Surround yourself with incredible people. Decide who's in your front row. And put amazing people in your front row that'll cheer you on, that will lift you up. Put yourself in somebody's front row and lift them up. Have a purpose for your life. It'll change, it'll evolve. But ask yourself right now, what is the purpose of your life? It could be something as simple as the purpose of your life is to be a great dad, be a great mom. Purpose of your life is to be grateful today. It could be something so simple to start. Don't get all wrapped up and I don't know what my purpose is. You've got many purposes, so just pick one today. And the more that you ask the question, the more clear it will become. And your purpose is always evolving, and then do it for the planet. Do it because we're here all to contribute and make the world a better place. But live life in the front row. So glad to be connected to you. So honored to be connected to you. Boy, this year is shaping up to be super exciting. So many fun things. Stay in touch. Share with me what you've got going on. Leave any comments about this video or questions. Maybe something you want to see down the road, and we'll talk soon. Adios.